The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome, everybody, to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 LPFM Lexington. In addition to listening on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or if you are out of the Lexington area, you can download the WLXU app on your smartphone device. Happy Thursday, everybody. Amber Turner is in the studio with me. Amber, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. And I want to start off the show talking about something that I've been talking about all week.
Okay.
And you know that I'm a big UK football fan.
Yes.
And I like to go to the games. I like to go for the atmosphere. I like to go for the experience. Not just really go because it's UK playing. I just like the overall experience of it.
Okay.
So this past weekend, Kentucky played Eastern Michigan. It was unlike anything that I had ever been to in my entire life. And the reason was because somehow, some way, I actually got a hold of tickets to get into the Woodford Reserve Club.
So you were in the fancy part?
I was in the rich seats.
Okay.
I actually got to be in the rich seats besides the rich people rubbing elbows. And something I still don't understand is why people wear dress clothes to football games.
Were people in dress clothes in there?
People were in dress clothes. I'm like, you're at a football game. I understand that you're rich and we're in a box, but the fact that you're wearing dress clothes.
Are we talking like three-piece suits or?
Yeah, we're talking like three-piece suits. Like we're talking, well, and we're also talking slacks and nice slip-on shoes with the little tassels.
Well, no, I can see that. I feel like, if you were a frequent flyer in the Woodford Club, you'd be wearing the same thing.
It was amazing. You had free food, and when I say free food, there was hamburgers, hot dogs, pork, steak, fish, shrimp, pasta, ice cream. I couldn't tell you.
Wait, there was pasta at a football game?
Pasta at a football game. I couldn't tell you how many Nutty Buddies I had in the ice cream cooler. I had a bunch. And it's something because pop at a football game is typically, what, $7, $8?
It's pretty expensive.
It was free.
How many did you drink?
A bunch.
Okay.
A bunch. I had my fair share of Ice Cold Pop.
Did you get you an Ice Cold Pop? There you go.
I had my fair share of it. And not only did they have free food, but the bathrooms, you had your own bathroom in your private little box here.
So, like, you could only use that bathroom if you were in that particular club?
Yes. They had a male bathroom and they had a female bathroom. And it's not like it was full of people in this club.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, you really didn't have to wait on a line or anything like that. And we've done a show on bathrooms before of how disgusting bathrooms can be. Kroger Field is one of those places where you're going to run into a disgusting bathroom. Not in this place. There was mouthwash.
Okay.
There was gum. There was mints. You name it.
Little bit of bottles of cologne.
Little bitty bottles of cologne. They didn't have anybody in there to give you a towel to wipe off your hands. They do have that at some clubs in Lexington.
Really?
They do, and I don't like it.
I need to go to one of them. I've never experienced that
You've
before.
never walked into a bathroom where there's been an usher in the bathroom to squirt the soap in your hands?
I mean, there was probably like a crazy person that was in there, like standing by something, and like throwing stuff at you, but no.
Or somebody in there pretending to be an usher.
Exactly. Wasn't that tip.
And that's because they get pretty good tips.
Well, I would tip somebody that gave me my paper towel and I have to reach for it.
Yeah, Facebook Live's trying to mess up on me. It says that we are about to get blocked if we don't turn... What music is playing Facebook Live? Why are they messing with my video already?
But I told you we got to add that.
Yeah,
I don't own the rights.
You did say that.
I did.
Right before I started it.
Guys, I tried to tell him.
You did. So, but the bathroom in general was just absolutely amazing. So it eliminated the disgusting bathrooms. You had a patio that you could sit out on. So you didn't even have to go to your seat.
That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious as to how the seats work in these clubs. So, like, did you actually have a seat that was down, like, towards the field, or did you have seats that were up there in the box?
50-yard line seats.
You're a lion.
They were down behind the bench, literally, we could give a good little spit and it would land on Mark Stoops' neck. It was 50-yard line seats, and it was behind the field.
Okay.
And it was was unreal. Like it was cushioned seats, chair back, and in this place you could drink alcohol. You know, at UK football games you're not allowed to drink.
Yep.
But in this Woodford club you can. And it was weird because the only thing separating from the outside seats, you and the regular public, is just like a rail, and you can see past the rail, and one man can be holding a beer on one side and the guy directly beside of him right across the other side of the rail, he can't drink. So I do think that's unfair, and I think that's ridiculous that, seriously, you can't do anything like that.
I would say I guess in a perfect world, I would say you probably shouldn't bring it out of the club. Like, don't bring it down to the field.
Yeah.
That would probably be the preferred.
It was funny too, because you could tell the people that wasn't used to being in those boxes. Like we talked about the mouthwash in the bathrooms.
Yep.
I saw a guy when I was in there when we were washing our hands, and he used mouthwash as his soap because he didn't know no better. And his buddy was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Oh, this ain't soap." He's like, "No, it's mouthwash." He's like, "Oh, I was just wanting some minty hands."
Well, I have to ask, did they have your peanuts?
They had Amber, everything. They had everything for free.
And you know, I'd say the best part was you did not have to throw those on anybody's hair.
No, I didn't. There was plenty enough room for me to throw my peanut shells and then safely not land on anybody. But to me, what gets me about this is I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to another football game and enjoy it because I've been spoiled now. I now know what it's like on the other side to sit in the rich seats. And what's amazing about it is how different each person experiences a football game based upon their tickets.
Yep, that is very true.
Your ticket will tell the story of your experience.
And you got the golden ticket.
And I got the golden ticket. And it was great because we did win the game. We ultimately won the game on Saturday. So that makes us 2 in a row. We are now 2-0 with an 8-17 win over Eastern Michigan. But the big story, Amber, about that game, even though it was great and I got to sit in the Woodford reserve seats and got to sit with the rich people and all that good stuff, Terry Wilson, the quarterback, he went down with a knee injury, and he's only a junior. He's the quarterback. This team was really expecting a lot out of Terry Wilson. We were, I don't want to say 100% relying on him. I don't think Kentucky's ever been a team where we build it around the quarterback. So I don't think him being absent from our team is going to affect us. I don't think it's the nail in the coffin.
Okay.
But it is going to hurt us. He went out late in the third quarter, and he was carted off the field. He is out for the season.
Oh, man.
And it was a really bad injury.
Well, I do have a question about it because, I was trying to, I was following the game a little bit. They said it was an illegal move.
It was.
So what does that make? I'm sure there's going to be many people like me listening that might not know what that means. What does an illegal move mean?
Okay, so what happened is late in the third quarter, Terry Wilson, they call it a horse collar tackle.
Okay.
They call that a horse collar tackle, what happened to Terry. And that's basically where he got drugged down by his neck.
Oh, no.
And when he fell, I didn't see what happened after that. But the injury, if you want to know the exact injury of what it was to his knee, he tore his patella tendon in his left knee.
Well, I can fully sympathize with him on that because I think you remember a time that I might have done that.
Yeah, I do remember that time. So does that hurt?
It was probably one of the worst pains I've ever felt in my entire life, but it was mostly I was embarrassed as to how I got hurt.
So you and Terry have had the same injury.
We
now.
have.
So,
we're patella buddies now.
Okay, well, do you have anything to say to Terry if he's listening to the show right now?
I guess my biggest thing that I would say is definitely elevation. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but I was in a brace that went from my hip all the way down to my ankle. So just wear the brace. I didn't want to, but, wear the brace and do the physical therapy and just honestly listen to what your physicians say.
And apparently it's a really bad injury. For them to say he's out for the entire season.
Oh, yeah.
How long were you down with with that injury?
Let's see. I got injured in, I want to say it was probably March. And then I think I still had my brace on in some of my summer vacation photos. So I want to say it was about 6 months before I was at the point to where they felt confident I didn't have to wear the full brace and I could go to a small brace.
Well, it's unfortunate because now it came out that he does not qualify for a medical redshirt season, so he's just out for the season. So next year is going to be his last.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's going to be his last season. When he went down, they had to replace him with the backup quarterback Sawyer Smith, not Sauer or Sayer, however people want to say Sawyer.
Sawyer.
It's Sawyer Smith. Sawyer Smith, the backup quarterback, he's a graduate transfer from Troy. He replaced Terry and threw a 54-yard touchdown to Ahmed Wagner on his first Kentucky pass attempt.
Oh, wow.
I loved it. When he made that pass, I jumped up and I said, let's start him. I have high hopes for this young man. Sawyer Brown, he completed 5 of 9 passes for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Kentucky ran, Amber, for 239 yards in the game, highlighted by 92 yards on 11 carries from redshirt freshman Kavasi Smoke.
Wow.
And I just like that guy's name because his last name is Smoke. How cool is it to go through life with the last name Smoke? If I had Smoke anywhere in my name, that's what you're going to start calling me, okay?
I'd call you Smokey.
Smoke, Smokey, anything. That would be
That's such an old man name, though.
Or a dog name. That's what you name your dog, Smoke.
I just think of like an old papa, like sitting at a gas station with a chew of tobacco in his mouth.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to talk to old Smoke before you leave.
So UK plays Florida this weekend. It's the biggest game of the season, like always. And I say it's you don't really know what the biggest game of the season is, depending on what our record is. But always up to this point, Florida's always the biggest of the season. They play this Saturday, September the 14th at 7 p.m. Kroger Field, sold-out game. So that means there's going to be at least 61,000 people there. It's going to be on ESPN. Florida leads the series 51-18. And has won 37 of the past 39 meetings.
Wow.
It's embarrassing.
It'll be a good game.
The last time we met, Kentucky ended a 31-game losing streak. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Against Florida with a 27-16 win over the Gators. And that was last September at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville. And Florida is, of course, favored this year again by 8 or 9 points. And it's all about Sawyer Brown. It's all about Sawyer Brown. I think Kentucky fans are wanting to see what Sawyer Brown is going to do, the new quarterback for Kentucky.
Now, what is he? Is he a freshman or?
He is a redshirt senior.
Okay.
So, yes. So, he will be from Troy. He's a redshirt senior, and it's finally going to get some playing time. And it's going to be all about Sawyer. So, if you are a bettor like me and you plan on betting on the game, I'll tell you what some numbers are. You can take the over-under, which is set at 48, or you can take Kentucky plus 8, or you can take Florida minus 8. So catch that game, 7 o'clock on Saturday, Kentucky versus Florida. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with some more Off the Cuff. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you in the studio. Amber is also here with me. Do you recognize that song?
No, I don't. I have no clue what the song is.
Well, that song, Amber, is called the Macarena. Back in the 90s, there was no bigger dance song than this song right here. But the thing about this song is, where did it go?
Nowhere. I still will listen to this song.
You listen to it because we grew up with it, but where did it go? At weddings, you hear the Cupid Shuffle.
Okay, and the wobble.
And then you hear, what's the get low? How low can you go? All the way to the flow?
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah. What is it called? The
Cha-Cha Slide.
The Cha-Cha Slide.
There we go.
Yes. You hear those, but the Macarena you don't hear. Do you know how to do the Macarena?
I do know how to do the Macarena.
With the hands
I'm
on
pretty
your shoulder?
sure that, so Adam likes to make fun of me for maybe a dance that I might have done when we were younger, and he'll get me in public and he'll do the dance. I'm pretty sure this was probably the song I was dancing to. when I done this particular said dance.
Sorry for the technical difficulties we've been having. The Facebook Live, it went out, but now it's back in. I think that Facebook is really getting mad because I'm not saying that I own the rights to the music that's being played. So, working out a few kinks. Sorry. We'll get it working. So just stick with us. And plus, I'm hungry. It doesn't help the fact that I'm hungry, and it makes me a little frustrated. If only, and I didn't get to eat. And it's times like this I wish the studio had a vending machine in the studio, because vending machines take care of that quick hunger that you need.
Oh, yes. And with the fact that you can use your credit and debit card now, that has changed the whole game.
The evolution of
vending
machines is amazing in itself because, it started off where you put in 25 cents.
Yep.
Those were the days. I mean, and they had vending machines in everywhere. Your barber shop, train stations, bus stations,
even
office
outside
building.
of gas stations, you would have them.
Even outside of gas stations where they sold pop in the store, they'd have vending machines. And all you had to do was put in a quarter. And now people don't carry change like they used to, or cash for that matter.
No.
So they made it to where you can use your card. I hate it, too, when you see a vending machine that's not up to date and modern.
Well, so I finally have discovered all the vending machines on Eastern's campus, and a lot of them actually even do Apple Pay. So I watched this girl walk up and wave her phone in front of the little device that you would slide your card in. I think that's when she knew how old I was, because I was like, what did you just do? She literally just waved her phone in front of it.
Whoa, you can wave your phone in front of a vending machine?
If you have Apple Pay, yes, you can. If it says that it takes Apple Pay, you could just wave your phone, and your iPhone will automatically pull up your saved debit or credit card number, and it'll pay for it.
I like it when you can go up to a vending machine that doesn't have food in it. They have other items in it, like they have cigarettes.
Okay.
Or they have playing cards.
The flowers, you can get flowers at one of the hospitals here in town. They've got a flower vending machine. I thought that was
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Because it's a food vending machine. They just don't put food in it. They just put stuff like flowers and...
Yep. So, what is your favorite thing to get out of a vending machine?
Well, when I was a kid, my favorite thing to get out of a vending machine was, I don't even know if these are called vending machines. What are those machines called when you get those little stretchy things that you throw up on a wall? And you used to get the tattoos.
Oh, like the little novelty machines?
Yes.
Okay.
Those were my favorite.
Well,
because you could get some cool, like, rings, little plastic rings. Ooh, and if you got one of those that looked like an engagement ring, you could pretend like you're proposing to your girlfriend when you was a kid. And that got you some brownie points. But my favorite food to get out of a vending machine, oh my gosh, probably the potato skin chips.
Okay.
Maybe that white cheddar popcorn.
That's the best right there.
That's good stuff. And a good old-fashioned ice cold Dr. Pepper.
So now, exactly, you talked about the novelty machines. What was your absolute favorite thing when you walked into, let's say, Pizza Hut? I remember what Pizza Hut. What was your favorite thing to see?
Tattoos. And
okay.
And the reason I like tattoos, do you agree with me?
I agree.
The reason I like tattoos is because I don't have any.
No, I don't either.
You don't either. And the reason I don't have any is because they're so permanent.
Yep.
So I always like to experiment with the play ones because they go away.
They never worked out for me though. Did you ever get one to actually stick on you?
Sometimes it's. I know what you mean because they're really, really cheap.
They're extremely cheap.
25 cents. You can't expect it to look good on your skin, but yes, tattoos.
I also enjoyed the mustaches too.
The mustaches was cool.
those were chill.
Yeah, but they got old after a while. You put it on, you're like, I got a mustache, and then you're ready to take it off.
I mean, you guys were growing mustaches. We weren't, so we thought it was hilarious as a female.
The vending machine business, Amber, it's interesting how much of a billion-dollar business it is. In fact, it's a $22 billion revenue business in the United States. So maybe we should look into maybe going into the vending machine business since we're both apparently passionate about it.
Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me because have you ever went to a vending machine that just completely didn't have anybody there? Like there was just literally nobody there. I mean, obviously if you go to one late at night or early in the morning, but like if you're there, say you're on campus and you're teaching a class,
yeah.
You go to the vending machine, you usually see a couple of people in there getting things out of it. So that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, the vending machines are aging very well.
Yep.
They're keeping up with being modern. They're putting cards on there. Apparently, you can use your phone, which blows my mind.
Apple Pay.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you, though. So, we grew up together, so we got to experience some things together. Do you remember when it was Pop Day? And Pop is soda for anybody who is wondering what that means. Do you remember when it was Pop Day at school and we got to go get a pop?
So it was a big deal in middle school, elementary school when it was Pop Day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. I've told you my feelings on that before.
I know.
I wasn't a big fan of Pop Day because there were some kids that didn't have money to get a pop.
But getting a pop.
But back then I wasn't the humanitarian that I am today.
No.
So back then I wasn't thinking about that. But yeah, that was a good feeling. Something about having a Coca-Cola at 12 o'clock p.m., it was something... You
thought you were grown.
You couldn't do that at noon. You thought you were a grown.
You thought you were a grown.
I thought I was a grown man sitting there at 7th grade with a Coca-Cola at 12:30. I thought I was grown.
And I've not been able to find a pop that tastes as good as they did back then.
At that time, at 12:30 in the day, no.
Yep.
The best time for me to drink a pop, the very most non-traditional time for me to drink a pop is the first thing in the morning. Having pop for breakfast. There is nothing like having an ice-cold Coca-Cola for breakfast with your gravy and biscuits.
Yep. Ooh, and if it's like from a restaurant and it's a fountain drink, or if you crack one open that's in a bottle, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, Amber, we're going to take a break and do the off-the-cuff song of the week. And I've been looking through the past songs that we've done here on Off the Cuff, and this is radio broadcast number 20, episode number 278 overall. 279 overall. We've never, in all episodes that we've done of Off the Cuff, Song of the Week, we've never had a female artist lead the Song of the Week.
Have we not?
We have not until today.
Okay.
And we talked about this song a little bit last week, I believe. You talked about how this person, because of her breakup with her boyfriend, she created an amazing album from it.
Yep. And I mean, it's going to go down in history as probably being one of the greatest albums ever released by this person.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be hard to top it.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, roll down them windows, enjoy Off the Cuff's Song of the Week, and we'll be right back after the song. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Off the Cuff. That was Off the Cuff Song of the Week, Miley Cyrus with We Can't Stop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we will be right back after these words. Stick with us.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" baller. I wish I was. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in the studio with me. Amber, yesterday was September the 11th, 2019, and it marked the 18th anniversary of that tragic day that happened 18 years ago, September 11th, 2001, where the American planes were hijacked and were crashed into the World Trade Center and in New York City and the Pentagon in Washington. But today is September the 12th. And that's what I want to talk about today.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about 9/11. That was yesterday. Today is September 12th. So I want to talk about September 12th, 2001. Do you remember September 12th, 2001? How you felt that day, the fire that you felt, the drive that you felt, the hurt, but also the unity. We woke up, Amber, feeling whole on September 12th, 2001. We woke up feeling together. We woke up feeling ready.
Yep.
And I think that's what we need to remember. Not really the bad, but how we were together on September the 12th, 2001. You could not find an American flag to buy because they were all sold out.
It was the greatest day to be an American.
It was the greatest day in the world to be an American. I have never felt more patriotic than what I was on September 12th, 2001. You walk outside, you see a flag. I mean, people were
I mean, countless men and women dropped out of school on the day of September 11th, and they went out and joined the military. We weren't Democrats and Republicans. We wasn't liberals and conservatives. We were Americans.
And that's all we were. That's all we needed to be.
That's what we were. We unleashed absolutely holy hell on our enemies after September 11th, 2001. And on September 12th is when we decided that was going to happen.
That was the day we decided the bully had to come down.
Yeah, and we let you know that, hey, we're an American. We are Americans. Don't mess with us, because if you do, we will annihilate you. We were together as Americans. Now, flash forward 18 years later, it's not like that anymore.
We're so divided now as an entire country. The division in this country, if we would have been in the state that we are now then, it's untelling how things would have turned out for us. But, back then, we were all family because we all come from the same place. Like, it didn't matter what your skin color was. It didn't matter what your sexuality was. We were all here.
Yeah, I mean, we're at odds with our neighbors, our coworkers, our family. We label each other. We put false information about people online, and we spread hate all across the streets. I mean, there's gun violence. There's just, like I said, labeling people for no reason. Just unnecessary hate in this world. And we're doing this to our fellow Americans.
Yep.
So let's go back to what we were like September 12th, 2001, when we were the most patriotic that we ever had been.
We were, and it's like, when you look back, when I think about September the 12th, I think about Steve Buscemi. Do you know who Steve Buscemi is?
Yes.
So Steve Buscemi, for anybody who doesn't know, he is probably one of the greatest actors to ever grace Hollywood. Been in Con Air, definitely was in something, Billy Madison.
Yeah.
So Steve Buscemi actually worked for one of the ladders in New York City. I think he worked from like 80 to 84. And immediately after September 11th, the very next day, Steve Buscemi dropped everything he was doing and he went straight back to his original ladder. And that man worked 12s. This Hollywood man, because, we think Hollywood people, they're not hardworking people. Mm. He dropped everything and he went and he was by his brethren. And he searched through the rubble and he stayed with them. I don't know exactly how long, but he went and worked 12s with them because... Yeah. We were united.
People put their life on hold.
Yes.
They put their life on hold to go out and search for these missing people. And like I said, they were people signing up to be police officers, firefighters, military. They were joining this stuff because we were mad and we wanted to fight for our country, and it brought us all together. I remember you couldn't walk into a store and find a shirt with an American flag on it because it was sold out.
It was sold out. And everybody was putting it on their branding.
Everybody was putting the flag on their branding.
Old Navy, Gap. I mean, you could just continue to go down clothing lines. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have an entire line of just American flags from Old Navy in that time period.
I seen a picture, and it really just kind of put it into words of how it brought us together after the attacks of 9/11, how that attack brought us together as Americans. There was a photo of a trailer park, and it just showed down the straight line of all the different trailers, and it was just empty, no flags, nothing. And that was on September 11th, 2001. And then it shows the next day of that trailer park, September 12th, 2001, 18 years ago. And it had that same photo of the trailer park, but every trailer had a flag on it. Yep. And the caption said, the terrorists thought they were going to tear us apart as a country. And then it said, ... think again.
Yep.
It only brought us closer. I mean, and it brings chills on me even talking about it, of how united we were on September the 12th, 2001.
Well, it was the first time since Pearl Harbor that we had any, type of, I guess, terrorism on our soil. And it was something that a lot of us hadn't lived through. This was the first time that, you and I, and probably some of our audience, had ever really experienced home terrorism. Like that was something that was the furthest thing from our minds.
Yeah.
And it happened in New York City, which is something that everybody wants to go there. Everybody wants to vacation there. You want to live there. I don't know about you, but I wanted to move there as a child. Mm-hmm. That's where you want to be. But, oh man, things like that can happen there. And I feel like it took away a little bit of our innocence as children, because at this point we had to realize that things aren't always fairy tale, things aren't always happy, and we got firsthand account of that.
Zach on the show thread says, there is a certain Toby Keith song that would have worked better as a song of the day with that topic. Zach, to be honest with you, I thought about playing that Toby Keith song, that Red, White, and Blue. Talk about people trying to capitalize on the tragic events of 9/11. The music industry and the film industry,
Yep.
They tried to capitalize on it. I mean, artists got into the studio immediately. I mean, I'm telling you, the towers came down. I mean, what did people start doing? People started getting in the studio to record music. People started getting behind their desks to write books, to write magazine articles. They were capitalizing off this big event.
Yep.
I mean, people made millions off these songs. Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day?
It was just our world that stopped turning.
Yeah.
It was just ours.
Well, yesterday in class, I had a night class, and a lot of my students, Amber, were born in 2001, and that's crazy, isn't it?
How old does that make you feel?
It
just
makes
saying
me
that?
feel really old. And I started talking about 9/11 in class yesterday, and they knew about it, obviously, but they don't know a lot about it. So what that tells me is that the public school system is failing our students with educating them properly on September 11th. The biggest thing that's happened in our lifetime as far as attacks go, that event right there should be elaborated on a lot more in schools.
Yes.
They didn't know near the information that I thought they would know. I'm talking, some didn't even know how many planes were hijacked on 9/11.
Oh, no.
Basic common knowledge that there was 4, they didn't know that.
Our school shut down that day.
Our school shut down. And I'm telling you, Gen Z, I understand. It was a long, long time ago, 18 years, but at least be a little bit more educated
about our history.
Yeah.
Of our country.
with September 11th. Yeah, I'll never forget. I mean, I was in the 8th grade,
Yep.
and I thought about making a status yesterday on Facebook, and the status was going to say, if you were with me when I found out the news of 9/11, like my status, because there was a whole group of people that was with me
There
when
were
I found
30 of
about
us.
it. You were one of those people.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, there were 30 of us, and a very sad day.
It was a sad day.
You look a little frustrated.
Well, we've got paparazzi in here with us today. My husband has agreed to come and take some photos, and he's getting in my personal space.
I can tell that you gave him the side eye. Folks, Amber's husband is here in the studio with us. He's taking some photos, and it's so funny. I just wanted to bring it up that Amber was giving him this face like, if you don't quit breathing on the back of my neck, that face that you were giving him. Just wanted to make light of the situation.
I think he's used to it now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a quick commercial break. Actually, our last commercial break, and we will be back for our last segment right here on Off the Cuff. Stick with us.
All right, stop, collaborate and listen. I sit back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in the studio with me. Last segment of the hour. That's a great song. That never
I was
gets
going to
old.
say, I wish people could see the little dance you just done.
Only for the Facebook Live viewers. That's why you should check out our Facebook Live stream if you haven't yet on facebook.com/offthecuff with Adam Banks. All right, Amber, we've talked about it. Summer's coming to an end. Is this going to be the last radio broadcast we do in the summer, or when does summer end officially?
I think that the first day of fall is the 23rd of September, so we'll have one more.
Okay. Well, I've noticed that the pools are starting to shut down, which means people are making their way back to the tanning bed. And it's crazy that people still go and just lay in a bed full of UV rays.
It is the most relaxing thing.
Knowing the statistics and the skin cancer that can come from laying in the tanning beds, people will still go and do that.
It is the most relaxing thing that I could probably ever say that I've done by myself, just going.
According to the American Academy of Dermatology, rates of melanoma, which is the deadliest form of skin cancer, have doubled since 1982, and skin cancer is now the most common cancer diagnosed in the United States. Experts believe tanning will remain the same in years to come because many tanners are busy, hardworking people who cannot spend time sunbathing on the beach or their backyard during daylight hours. People are still going to the tanning bed because, yes, it's a quick way to get a quick
tan. So really, there's not been a decline in tanning bed salons, which just blows my mind because the stats are there. Are you a fan of the tanning bed?
Well, hopefully I'll change a couple of people's minds, and hopefully I'll make some of my professors happy when I say this. But, at one point in time, if you go back and you look through some of my photos, you'll see I was as brown as a biscuit.
Yeah.
I mean, right out of the oven. And I started taking some classes in environmental health, which is, what I'm doing at Eastern. And they let me know a couple of things. Number one, we talked about melanoma and how we are already in, the danger zone for melanoma just in general, like out in the sun. It's called Cancer Alley where we are. But then, one day they came in and they started showing slides. And, I used to work in laboratories.
Yeah.
So when you put laboratory factual data in front of me, I'm just going to say it like this. Folks, we have a problem with people washing their hands after they go number 2. What makes you think that they are wiping themselves properly? So what's happening is some of these women and men are getting into these tanning beds butt naked and they're putting their poop all over that bed.
Are they?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the
There
thing.
is so much fecal matter
In those tanning beds?
in those tanning beds.
Well, I'm not going to tell anybody to go out there and buy their own tanning bed just for a cleaner tanning bed experience, because tanning beds are bad. And I'm guilty. I used to lay in the tanning bed a time or two when I was in college to get a little bit of a tan before I went to the beach. I wanted to get a tan.
I remember.
And I did one of those stand-up tanning beds where you put your arms out and then you hold on and it's supposed to tan underneath your arms.
See, I had a real bad experience in one of them one time.
What happened?
Do you really want me to tell it?
Please.
I peed on myself one time.
Standing up. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me?
No.
You peed. You're sitting there talking about people crapping in a tanning bed, but you just admitted to the entire city of Lexington that you peed in the tanning bed.
Unfortunately, I did. I instantly, I got in and I realized I have to pee now. You know that kind of pee. Like when you just know, like, it's going to happen right now. Well, I'm butt naked. What am I supposed to do? I was thinking about, trying to hurry up and put my clothes on. It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just, duty called.
Well, did the pee roll down your leg? Did it?
I will not go into detail.
And was there a puddle that you had to step over the entire time, or make sure that you didn't step in the entire time?
No. I got inventive with, with my, let's just say I walked out of there wearing less clothing than what I walked in wearing.
Well, here's what I want to say about tanning beds. They're just as dangerous as the sun. So wear sunscreen, yes, in the tanning bed. I know it's kind of defeating the purpose of why you go to get a tan, but at least you're blocking some of those UVA, UVB rays. Would you agree with me?
I would say probably if you want a professional opinion, just avoid them.
Yeah.
Just avoid them. Not only, for obvious reasons of melanoma and skin cancer in general, but for bacterial reasons. Just keep that in mind.
All right, really quick before we go, Amber, I want to talk about this. This happened actually a couple months back, but we've never got to talk about it. Matt Bevin.
Okay.
Our governor.
Okay.
Very popular here in the state, right?
Sure. Sure. Whatever you say.
Everybody knows I say that with a nice little grin on my face. But anyway, he has signed a bill, and it's Bill 128, and he signed it back in June. And it allows public schools to teach courses on the Bible. And Matt Bevin, he co-signed the bill called the Bible Literacy Bill, and it would allow public schools to offer a course on the Bible,
okay,
discussing the Bible as an elective. So it doesn't have to be a required course. It can be an elective.
That was going to be my biggest question.
Yes, and Republican State Representative D.J. Johnson says, whether you believe that it's the Word of God or you think it's complete fiction, you can't deny the impact it's had on our culture. I completely agree with him. It's very well said. Whether or not you believe the Bible is real or whether or not you think it's fiction, you still cannot deny the impact that it's had on our culture. So, but a lot of people are not happy with this bill. But here's what I say about it. It's not required. It's an elective. You don't have to take it, but it's there.
It's there if you want it.
The access is there.
Well, and I think, in having this and having it be an elective, if you want to learn more, because let's say you come from a family who is against you having this Bible class as a required class, but you maybe as a high school student, you're like, okay, I want to explore my options. Why should it be an issue to allow children to explore their options with education? It's education.
Yeah.
It's not like they're saying, hey, come in here, you have to learn about, Jesus. No, go in there, educate yourself if that's what you want. If you don't want, then walk on down the hallway, go on to your next class.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, very well put, Amber. It's about time to wrap up this episode of Off the Cuff. You can follow Off the Cuff on Facebook by going to facebook.com/offthecuff with Adam Banks. You can follow me personally on Twitter at AdamBanks88. Follow me on Instagram at AdamBanks818. You can follow Amber on Instagram or Snapchat at her one handle, Ambu447. Make sure that you download the WLXU app on your smartphone device to listen to us anywhere in the entire world. And catch us next week, Thursday from 4 to 5. We always try to put on a great show. Always want to thank those listening on the radio, those listening from the app, and those listening on Facebook Live at home. That is Amber Turner. I'm Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. We will see you next Thursday from 4 to 5. Be safe.
I got muscles like Superman trainer. Real rare.